Stocks just finished the trading day with a big rally after yesterday's big sell-off. The Dow closed higher by more than 1,000 points. Stocks were significantly higher across the board, with investors seemingly pinning their hopes on some private comments by Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent about potential de-escalation in the administration's trade war with China. NBC News business and data correspondent Brian Cheung joins me now with more on the markets. So, Brian, these were closed-door comments by the secretary, and it's unclear if they reflect the president's view, but the markets ran with it anyway?
Yeah, it's an important kind of couching there, but all of this is kind of coming as of this reporting, which we and our White House team here at NBC News did get attributable to a person in the room, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, telling a private investor summit today that he could see a near-term de-escalation in the U.S. China tariff dispute, as you'll recall, ratcheting up those effective tariff rates to something closer to 145%, China responding in kind. Negotiations with Beijing have not yet begun, so this is kind of optimism coming seemingly from nowhere, but it does match up with what we've heard from Caroline Leavitt, the press secretary, who did say on the record that on a potential trade deal with China, the White House says that they are doing, quote, very well. They're trying to set the stage for a deal with China is the way that they're describing it. But either way, markets seem to have liked that news, with the Dow Jones ending the day up over 2%. But I want to point out, with all the volatility, it's been hard to keep track. As of the beginning of this year, if you put $1 into the Dow Jones, you're still down 7.9%. And up until today's rally, we were breaking some pretty bad records, like, for example, 63 trading days since Inauguration Day, the S&P 500 fell by 14%. That was the worst start to a presidential term since the index began back in 1929. So again, these are not good records to be breaking, but it does seem like at least we got a little bit of green on the screen off of even just the little tiniest bit of hope that those trade discussions could be going well, Ryan.
And it's interesting, you know, kind of an off-the-cuff comment by the Treasury Secretary sends the Dow rallying, but at the same time, we have the IMF warning of a major negative shock on the global economy from Trump's tariffs. It seems like there's still quite a bit of uncertainty ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, when we talk about the financial markets here in the United States, we also forget that we're talking about the impact of these tariffs globally as well. The International Monetary Fund, in alignment with their spring meetings, which they hold this time of year, usually on a regular schedule, they released a new economic forecast that not only projected the rate of U.S. GDP, which is a measure of economic growth, going down for 2025 as a result of these tariff policies, but around the world as well. Prior to the tariffs, they were expecting global growth to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 3.3% for 2025. Now they're revising that down to 2.8%, singularly because of the U.S. tariff policies. They said that, quote, the swift escalation of trade tensions and extremely high levels of policy uncertainty are expected to have a significant impact. A reminder that it's not just the United States. There's a global impact to all this as well, Ryan.
Okay, Brian, thank you for breaking that all down for us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app, or follow us on social media.